and happy to have speakers Joseph Krupczynski, Rudy Perkins, Catherine Ratté, and Daniel Ross, who will be introduced by the guest curator of this project, Meg Vickery. So the full title of today's talk is Sustainability in the Community, Regional Planning and Grassroots Efforts that are Making a Difference. Tonight's talk is sponsored by Stiebel Eltron and People's Bank. We're happy to have their sponsorship and happy to have all of you here tonight. We are videotaping the event, and so we will have it available probably on YouTube and on our website, so you'll be able to refresh your memories and walk through it again. I'm going to turn this over to Meg Vickery, so thank you.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. Sorry, I got to get out of the light. I think the gods, the nature gods, are sort of frowning on this exhibition. The weather always seems to get in the way. So you get extra credit for coming on such a horrible, horrible night. As you know, tonight's subject panel discussion is greening the communities. Our panelists will speak for about 10-15 minutes each, and then we'll open up the discussion for questions and further discussion amongst the panelists. The speakers tonight are all experts in community involvement, bringing people together to be part of the process to effect real change. So I'm going to read a brief biography of each speaker so you know who's who. Catherine Ratté, can you wave? She'll be... didn't want to single you out that way. Oh, one quick thing. If you are here and you want AIA units, please see Lauren Starr toward the back. She's waving before you leave tonight, and you can get credit for coming tonight. So Catherine Ratté is the principal planner, manager in land use environmental section of the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission. She works on sustainability, focusing most recently on helping the Pioneer Valley communities achieve green community designation and facilitating the creation of the Pioneer Valley Sustainability Network. She's helped with the implementation of the award-winning Pioneer Valley Clean Energy Plan and the promotion of clean energy, energy use reduction, conservation, and efficiency to address climate change. She has expertise in participatory planning, smart growth, sustainability, clean energy, adult education, and the training of trainers, and in the intersection of land use and transportation planning. Catherine's been with the PVPC for more than 11 years. She's also worked for the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, the United States Peace Corps in Cameroon, and the Wisconsin Coalition Against Sexual Assault. She earned her master's degree in urban and regional planning and social work from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and has an undergraduate degree in literature and society from Brown University. I think it flows better now. If you just want to go?
Oh, okay, great.
And then I introduce, I think that's a little better.
That sounds better. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out, and it's wonderful to be a part of this terrific panel. So I'm going to try and give you a brief history of the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission's role in sustainability, and then that will inevitably get me into sustainability activity in the Pioneer Valley. So, and again, as you all know, sustainability did not start in 2000. I started working at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission in 1998, and as an agency, we started getting involved explicitly calling it sustainability activity in around 2000, but obviously sustainability has been around for centuries, and we're just rediscovering it in the last century in this part of the world. So the first thing that we did at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and again, I know this is not a talk about the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, but I'll just quickly tell you who we are in case you don't know. We're the regional planning agency for the 43 cities and towns in Hampshire and Hampden counties. There are 13 regional planning agencies in Massachusetts, and we're one of 13, and the most forward-thinking and progressive of all of them. So our director has been with our agency for many, many years, and he travels around a lot. And so when he was traveling, of course, sustainability was being talked about more and more at the late 90s. Of course, it was talked about a lot in the 80s and in the 70s. It's been a wave thing. But so around 2000, we decided we needed to take an active role. And so we like to not impose things on our communities. We plan by consensus. We have no actual power, so we have to add value to the work of the communities and of the organizations and people in our region. So the first thing that we did was ask everybody, what would you think would be helpful for the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission to enhance sustainability in the Valley? And we talked to the experts. We talked to people who have their work exhibited in the show, Bruce Coldham and other architects. We talked to experts in municipal governance that were focusing on sustainability. We talked to, I don't think we actually talked to Daniel, but maybe we did. We talked to folks who have expertise in community organizing and relating to food and housing, et cetera. And basically what everybody told us was, don't do anything new. We don't need you to do something. What we need for you to do is to get us all connected, that we're all working and we're pretty good at what we do, and we're very good at what we do. And so, but we don't necessarily know about each other, and we don't have time to talk to each other as much as we should. So what would be best is if you could organize us and document what we're all doing and get us connected. So that's why I have the connector, catalyst, network images there to get you subconsciously, unconsciously thinking about that. So, so we started doing that. We had a small grant, and again, this is a story to tell you about the issues related to enhancing sustainability. And of course, one of the big issues is funding and time and energy and interest from the powers that be. And so we had a small grant to get started doing this inventory work, and we worked with, again, John Fable, whose wife, Mary Krause, has an exhibit in the show, and others, to develop a technique of inventorying sustainability activity in the Valley. And I was joking with my fellow panelists that there are 458,000 sustainability activities happening in the Valley at any given moment, which I made that number up, but as you all know, it's probably accurate. And so we came up with this form, and we had a bunch of grad students and undergraduate students from Hampshire and UMass and other places collecting the information. And so we put it into a form, and then we had applied to the Economic Development Administration of the United States government for funding to turn this into a searchable web-based tool. And we got approval from the New England office and then from the Northeast office, and it went to Washington, and then this was in 2000. And of course, I'm not exactly sure why this happened, but we got an email fax back from the office saying that the Economic Development Administration will no longer consider any grant applications that have the word sustainability or sustainable development in their proposals. And this was obviously right after President Bush had taken office. And so that derailed those efforts, unfortunately. And again, because part of the issue of getting people connected and enhancing sustainability, I mean, obviously the people who are doing it, who make a living out of it, you'll hear about what they're doing, but as somebody who's trying to organize information and organize people, it's a lot dependent on money, and so we didn't get that funding. At the same time, we did get funding to facilitate development of a clean energy plan for the Valley. And so our focus shifted to really organizing within that one area of sustainability, which obviously is crucial, looking at climate change and energy efficiency and generation of clean energy. So we ended up sort of getting diverted in that direction for a number of years. But in the course of doing that work and bringing the folks who do clean energy work, whether it's energy efficiency, solar, wind, biomass, what we discovered again in greater detail was that these people don't know what each other is doing. And so I was talking to all of them and knew what they were all doing, but they didn't know. So we brought them together regularly to talk, and that led to a collaboration between the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission and UMass, two different departments. Well, it was the Environmental Institute and Industrial Engineering. And so because of the success of the clean energy planning effort, where it was wonderful to have all these different disciplines coming together and hearing what they were doing, and even though we just brought them together quarterly for a couple hours, you knew that they heard what each other was doing in the meeting, and then afterwards they could collaborate on grant proposals or projects together. So then we recognized the need to bring people from all different disciplines together. So basically it's back to the idea of getting them connected, but instead of doing it through a web-based tool, it was in person. And we were successful in securing some funding from the Environmental Protection Agency to create this network. And it's ongoing, and you're all invited. We have meetings every second. We were going to meet quarterly, but they all wanted to meet bi-monthly. So now we meet every other month on the second Wednesday. But in March, the Building Energy Conference, Nessie's wonderful Building Energy Conference, is happening in Boston. So we're going to meet on March 17th at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission offices in Springfield, 60 Congress Street from 8 to 11, and we give you breakfast. So this is the mission of our organization, and we have some deliverables that, again, we hope are enhancing sustainability and enhancing the work of all the thousands of organizations that are doing this work in the Valley. And specifically, we recognize the need to do a couple of things that would help everybody to move forward.